Studio 31.
17 people hospitalized after a carbon monoxide leak at a state-run facility. The efforts to fix what some say is an ongoing issue. Plus, 1.5 million miles of roads plowed. We explore how UDOT's budget is holding up this winter at 6. Tonight, a serious leak proving to be a warning for us all. How one business jumped into action to fix the problem and how it's led to a call for change. Transgender students in the spotlight. Opponents of new legislation rally at the Capitol as lawmakers debate the issue.
I come in the doors and I'll say, oh, I'm in my happy place.
And a heartwarming story you will only see on KSL. Hear from one Ogden teacher still on the job as she gets ready to celebrate her 90th birthday.
KSL News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Our top story tonight, a counseling center in central Utah is set to reopen tomorrow after fixing a serious problem, a carbon monoxide leak.
Yeah, the leak sent more than a dozen people to the hospital. News specialist Michael Locklear joined us live in Ephraim on why one woman is calling for change here. Michael?
This counseling center here is shut down for another couple of days while new furnaces are being put in. This after at least 17 people went to the hospital over carbon monoxide poisoning.
I was really dizzy, really nauseous.
Scary symptoms for Brittany Havens and her 4 kids.
My oldest son told me that when he was leaving therapy, he was seeing floaters floating in front of him, and he was really dizzy and nauseous. He had to brace himself as he was walking out.
Some clients and staff at Central Utah Counseling Center are still feeling sick a week after an evacuation over carbon monoxide, a problem with an old furnace.
Pretty scary, actually. We had no idea it was happening.
CEO Nathan Straight says at least 7 clients and 10 staff members went to the hospital. 2 were so sick they were rushed to the local hospital, then up to Utah Valley.
There's still a few with headaches, a little bit of dizziness. A lot of that are actually results of the hyperbaric treatment that they had to go through.
Now the clinic is replacing all its original 25-year-old furnaces, and they're putting carbon monoxide detectors in all 8 of their facilities.
Make sure that we're catching it before it happens again.
Really frustrating and really exhausting.
Brittany wonders how long carbon monoxide had been leaking.
I don't feel safe going to therapy anymore because this happened there.
She and her kids have had headaches after therapy for a couple of months. Brittany is now calling for carbon monoxide detectors to be required in all commercial buildings.
Because people shouldn't have to go through this.
Thankfully, all of the staff members are now feeling well enough to be back at work. The CEO says they got lucky, and they just didn't think about putting in those carbon monoxide detectors because they weren't required when this building was built. But he wanted to share this story so that everyone could double check that they have those detectors in their homes and their workplaces. Live in Ephraim, Michael Locklear, KSL 5 News.
Yeah, Michael, close call and a lesson for all of us. Thank you. On Utah's Capitol Hill tonight, a vaccine bill passed its first hurdle with the House committee vote. The bill would ban public businesses from requiring patrons to show their vaccine status. Many businesses here in Utah and across the country did require proof of the COVID vaccine. The bill now heads to the full House for consideration.
Also at the Capitol, a series of divisive bills addressing sex transition surgery for minors in a committee hearing, with one running into trouble here. News specialist Lad Egan joined us live with the update and today's votes. Lad?
Yeah, Mike, it was another lengthy, emotional day of testimony in this committee hearing with testimony from all sides. And there was a brand new bill introduced that would prohibit sex transitioning medical procedures on minors. It was debated for 2.5 hours and then ultimately failed to advance from the committee.
No minor, especially one in emotional pain, is really old enough, mature enough, or experienced enough to understand the lifelong implications of these procedures.
What I can tell you is that gender-affirming care is as equally life-saving and as important as treatment for asthma, autism, type 1 diabetes, or heart conditions. It is evidence-based, widely recommended care that has been developed to help transgender people.
That was some of the back and forth there in that packed crowd in the House Health and Human Services Committee hearing. It required overflow seating, and at times the chairman had to remind the room of the decorum rules. After that new House bill, HB 132, failed, the committee turned its attention to SB 16, which passed the Senate last week. That also seeks to ban sex transition surgeries and puts a moratorium on puberty blockers for minors. That bill got enough votes to advance to the full House floor. Before this debate inside, there was a rally outside today in support of transgender youth.
And your joy demonstrates that transition is a true act of self-love.
And I'm speaking to you, transgender kids, adults, and my daughter, that people are going to be afraid and intimidated. Nothing scares some people more than people who are authentically themselves.
Speakers at the rally spoke out against the legislation and shared love and support for transgender youth and said the organizations would work to protect them. There was a third bill on the agenda today, but the committee ran out of time. That one was SB 100. It passed the Senate last week and now needs to be heard in the House. This one would prohibit schools from changing a student's gender identity without first getting permission from parents. So, Mike and Dini, we will let you know when this bill will be back up for a committee hearing here at the House. For now, back to you.
Yeah, we'll see where they all go from here. Lad, thank you.
Ticketmaster ought to look in the mirror and say, I'm the problem. It's me.
All right, so in Washington, senators could not help but drop some puns with Ticketmaster in the spotlight following the Taylor Swift ticket fiasco about 2 months ago.
And that included Utah Senator Mike Lee, who showed his Taylor Swift cred when grilling company owners over anti-competitive practices.
A purchaser of a ticket being able to sell it to someone else. A lot of people seem to think that's somehow a solution. I think it's a nightmare dressed like a daydream. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? That's all I've got to say.
They had a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
Okay. Other than the puns, the key takeaway here from today's hearings was lawmakers saying Ticketmaster has a monopoly in the industry. But beyond that, the next steps into the investigation remain unclear.
All right, Brett joins us now. It's got to be existing being the anti-hero. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Begs for something.
that story is actually really easy to follow. Sometimes there's hard stories
That's
to follow.
true. That's true. That's an easy one.
Easy one.
You got a Taylor Swift pun for us?
No, I hardly know her music.
Actually, I have more respect for you that you don't.
I know. Hey, wanted to start with this. This is a visible satellite image, and typically we look at clouds with this. This is actually on a clear day, and a visible satellite is exactly what it sounds like. This is what it looks like from the satellite up in outer space. What I wanted to point out here, a couple things. Number one, look at the snow cover around the state. That's what all the white is. It's not clouds. It's actually snow cover. A couple things to point out. Notice how small the Great Salt Lake looks, but also notice this out here in the West Desert. It's kind of interesting. Also, Sevier Lake has come back after a few years of being gone. That is actually a lot of water that we have in the salt flats. So this is a picture that was sent in. Cassidy Lewis sent this picture in, and yeah, this is only a couple inches deep out over the salt flats, but you can see some of the water that we have out there with just the amazing amount of snowfall that we've had in the state so far this winter, and we have more in the forecast. So we'll take a closer look at that coming up.
That's amazing graphic and pictures. Thanks, Brett. Well, as we hit a lull in the recent storms, the dry spell gives time for road crews to come up for air. And while they catch a small break, we wanted to know how all of our winter storms have had an impact so far. How are UDOT's expenses looking for winter road treatments? And do they have enough to last for the rest of the season? Traffic specialist Katya Stepovic has the answers.
This winter in Utah, there's no doubt UDOT crews have had their work cut out for them.
We've had some pretty intense storms and a lot of them this year already.
John Gleason with UDOT says they typically budget to have crews out clearing the roads from the month of October and into March or even April, with a budget of $24 million each winter. So far, UDOT has spent $15 million of that.
Well, we're higher than usual right now at this point in the winter.
At this point last winter, UDOT had spent half of the budget at just $12 million.
Anybody who lives through the weather patterns that we've seen, I mean, understands that we've had storm after storm this year. And already this season, our plow crews have traveled more than 1.5 million miles on our roads.
Around 1.5 million miles is enough to plow from Bear Lake to St. George over 3,000 times. It's a total of 63,697 hours and uses 130,000 tons of salt. That's enough to cover a football field, including the end zones, in 60 feet of salt. And Gleason says they're prepared for even more storms.
If we do happen to go over budget, we have some contingency funds that we can use, and we also, if we go incredibly over budget, then we can make the determination to push off some of the less essential responsibilities and maintenance, for the next fiscal year. You never have to worry about us taking a break from snow plowing.
Gleason says regardless of the price, when we see winter weather and that snow hit the ground, crews will be out in full force. For KSL-5 News, I'm Katya Stepovic.
Katya, thank you. Still ahead after more than a decade, some change for Salt Lake County's housing market. What it means if you are looking to buy or already own.
And a 90-year-old teacher back out of retirement again. I'll tell you why she keeps coming back to work.
You Care Yellow Air Day. Take action. Work from home for better air.
Turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023. Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get energized with tons of equipment. Simply join through the free PF app. Deal ends January 31st.
Off-roading is your way of life. Until you were hit by a drunk ATV driver, now your attorney matters.
Thinking about selling your home in today's more challenging market? Well, you don't have to let it sit for weeks or months trying to sell it the traditional way. At 72 Sold, you can get a price thousands more than if you sold the traditional way and get it done A to Z in just 8 days. Thinking about selling? Just put in your address and get your price, a higher price for your home in just 8 days, only at 72sold.com.
Our plumbers are slow this time of year, and if you help us keep them busy, we'll make it worth your while. Through the end of February, we'll include a free water softener when you have us install a new tankless water heater. Schedule a free estimate, and our plumbers will explain everything. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com.
Let's talk about finances and how you can intelligently invest in your home to save and even earn more money in the long run. Replacing old, outdated windows with new, energy-efficient technology will significantly lower your heating and cooling costs throughout the seasons. Additionally, our windows qualify for rebates from your local utility companies. Window replacement is consistently ranked in the top 5 investments a homeowner can make in their property. And get this, it might cost less than you think. Call us today for a free no-pressure quote on your new windows.
Off-roading is your way of life. Until you were hit by a drunk ATV driver, now your attorney matters.
I still think I can sell the car myself. This is going to take all day. And I have big plans. Brunch. Bubble bath.
At WeBuyAnyCar.com, selling your vehicle is always fast and fair.
And a nice pedicure.
All done.
Don't trade in or sell by yourself. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com now for a free online valuation. Get in, get out, get paid.
A performance that truly matters for each and every one of us. This is what you've been waiting for. See it at least once in your lifetime. Shen Yun, coming to George S. and Dolores Dory Eccles Theater, February 21st to the 25th. ShenYun.com.
Off-roading is your way of life. Until you were hit by a drunk ATV driver, now your attorney matters.
Low E has hurt my performance in the bedroom. I haven't been able to make the bed in years.
At Planet Fitness, there's hope with tons of energizing equipment in our judgment-free zone. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st.
Welcome back. A pretty flat day on Wall Street with markets inching out of the green there. The Dow gaining just over 100 points as inflation worries remain top of mind for investors. Meanwhile, layoffs expanding outside of the tech world tonight. The Washington Post announcing it has cut 50 jobs. 20 people laid off. The other 30 positions are empty and just will not be refilled. This comes after the Post announced a 9% staff reduction last month and a visit from owner Jeff Bezos yesterday at headquarters. The company currently employs about 2,500 people.
After narrowly avoiding a nationwide rail strike, rail operator Union Pacific posted another year of record earnings. The company's net income for the year rose to $7 billion, up $500 million from last year's record. Those gains were made during a year when the major freight railroad companies successfully fought off union demands during contentious labor negotiations last year, including over paid sick leave. After Congress imposed a new contract for members, employee pay and benefits collectively rose across the industry by about $500 million. Here in Utah, some major improvement in Salt Lake County's housing market. The Salt Lake Board of Realtors reports that house prices were down 6% in December, which marks the first year-over-year drop in housing prices in the county for 11 years. Salt Lake County's median price for a single-family home remains, though, still more than $500,000.
A teacher in Ogden is still going after turning 90 years old this month.
This is amazing. It's her second time coming back out of retirement. News specialist Mike Anderson talked to her about the reasons why in a story you'll only see on KSL.
Yeah, Dini and Mike, you know, Arlene Van Dyke retired initially after 57 years, but came back twice here to Wasatch Elementary, not only because she loves it, but because the people around here make it tough for her to say no.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Of the things in life that bring joy,
When skies are gray.
kids are a pretty big piece of that for Arlene Van Dyke.
School is a happy place to be.
She had retired after teaching for 57 years, but after losing her husband.
I just came back kind of volunteering, and I didn't like being home alone, and I missed teaching.
And volunteering turned into teaching full-time again at 87 years old.
Oh, do I like it? I love it. I loved it the first day I started teaching. I've loved it ever since. It's wonderful to have a job you love to go to.
She did take a break during the pandemic, but now,
What kind of a word is rhyming?
after returning to volunteer,
They just keep asking me to come back.
she made the maybe not so difficult decision.
And it's not hard to convince me because I want to.
Granted, they have made some adjustments. Van Dyke doesn't do technology, just the basics as she helps advanced readers in kindergarten part-time.
That fifth year is a magic year for kids. It's just a magic year.
And she has a little trouble walking nowadays, but they make it work.
We don't care, my principal would say. We don't care, we just want you in the classroom.
And for Van Dyke, that's okay.
I love you more than chocolate cake. Okie dokie. Artichoke.
Because it's where she wants to be, too.
And Van Dyke says she also loves the faculty here, that they make her feel younger. She says the educators are wonderful people. She loves to be around them. Back to you.
They must make her younger because none of us can believe
No, I know.
she is 90 years old. That's amazing. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, great story. Okay, trending tonight, selling a strange piece of Disney World history as thousands of Disney World fans said goodbye to Splash Mountain. Some are taking a token memory from that log ride. The most memorable part, perhaps, is the water.
Yeah, these eBay sellers are going viral after they claim to be selling water they swiped during the last days of operation. Some of them even fetched dozens of bids, with buyers offering to pay more than $50.
All right, Splash Mountain shut down to be rethemed from the Song of the South to the Princess and the Frog. Water. There you go.
Yep. You can sell it bottled, you can sell it bagged.
What do you do with it then?
Yeah.
Do you display it in the home?
Just put it up on the mantle.
I guess.
No one would believe, or you could just take some out of your tap, out of your tap and
You
put
drink
it up
it?
there and say that.
Yeah.
Filter? I don't know what
Because that's
you do.
probably what they
I'm
did.
pretty sure our producer did that too to,
Yeah, I know.
to tease us.
All right, so we're going to keep it nice and chilly. Okay. That's not going to change, but we are going to see a couple little systems that'll roll through. The first one actually moves in tonight. Not a big storm by any stretch, but we are going to see a little bit of snowfall. And when temperatures are just this cold, and they've been this cold for this long, you do tend to get just a little bit of accumulation. So the bottom line is the snow will be done for most of us by the time we wake up in the morning. But you still could have some very slick roads on the drive-in and a little bit of snow possibly in your driveway. 30 degrees, and this is along the Wasatch Front. Really, you get into central Utah, south of there, it really doesn't affect us very much. 30 right now in Salt Lake, and those winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. That's because the high pressure that still is off to our west continues. The winds going around this high pressure just continue with this flow out of the northwest. Now, this does a couple things. Number one, obviously, it keeps us cool. It keeps that colder air streaming in. Number two, it allows some of the, because it's so far off to the west, some storms can get around this high pressure, and they're just clipping by the state. And we're going to see a few of these as we head through the rest of the week and the weekend. Now, as far as any kind of radar, there's really nothing going on in the state right now, but you move to the north and you can see the showers, a little bit of snow moving through portions of Idaho. That's what will be moving south in the overnight hours. It'll get started sometime around 10, 11, around midnight along the Wasatch Front. The farther north you are, obviously, the sooner it will start. And again, we'll wrap up before most of us wake up tomorrow morning. So you'll just wake up with a little bit of snow possibly on your driveway. 28 in Ogden, 30 right now in Salt Lake. You can see only 3 in Vernal. 21 in Milford, 44 currently in St. George. We'll look for these showers to just drop through in the overnight hours. Now, you see by tomorrow morning, most of it has pushed south of the Wasatch Front. We'll still have some showers over the Uintas, possibly along the Wasatch back. Could see a little bit of snow if you're driving out of the higher elevations like in Park City. But again, most of the energy at that point has moved into central Utah and then will die out. We'll hold on to this kind of unsettled pattern as we get into Wednesday evening. You can see just some scattered snow showers possible. We get into Thursday, a little bit of precipitation up here in extreme northern Utah, higher elevations. That moves a little bit farther south. And into Friday, you can see a little more activity as well. We just keep that unsettled pattern. A lot of clouds, the cold temperatures, and occasional snow showers moving through. And that stays with us through the weekend. No big storms right now, but a series of these small events moving through. Temperatures tomorrow, upper 20s and low 30s around central Utah. A lot of cloud cover. You get farther south in the state, we'll hold on to more sunshine, but still awfully cold. 36 in Moab, 46 around St. George. And you can see we top out in the low 50s by Sunday in St. George. So again, very cool temperatures in the 7-day forecast. For northern Utah, a little bit of snow possible overnight, and then a lot of clouds throughout the day. You can see 24 in Logan, mid-20s around Heber. You look here along the Wasatch Front. We're in the low 30s for upper 20s, low 30s, Ogden, Salt Lake, and down to Sandy. Low 30s in Provo as well with that cloud cover. 7-day looks like this. That chance of showers overnight. We'll see that chance moving in. A little bit of a better chance on Friday into Saturday, and then again Sunday into Monday. Of all of it looks like the Monday storm might be the strongest, but right now, nothing real big headed our way.
Hey, as long as we have a couple of flakes on each week, we're happy.
Exactly, and it should help with our air quality, too.
Exactly. All right, thanks.
All right, JJ, what do you got for us?
Utah Jazz coverage. We know one Utah Jazz player that's going to be participating in All-Star Weekend right here in Salt Lake City. Who that is and what they're going to be doing. A look ahead also to the Jazz Blazers on Wednesday, and this skier made history on Tuesday. I'll explain what she did next.
KSL Weather sponsored by the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo. $5 big game hunts. HuntExpo.com.
Ballet West presents The Sleeping Beauty with new sets. This timeless story features the music of Tchaikovsky, played live by the Ballet West Orchestra. Buy tickets now at balletwest.org.
What was that?
Nothing to be worried about. Just part of the experience.
Perhaps there's no place like your home because you made it so. At R.C. Willey. Come shop our flooring department for the latest carpet choices.
Next on Behind the Series.
Let me tell you about the greatest roster ever assembled.
The Monster, the Outlaw, and you can't forget about the Boss. It wasn't just a roster, it was a menu.
The Subway Series, the greatest menu of all time.
You could hunt Utah's biggest bucks and bulls for just $5 and visit with hundreds of guides and outfitters at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City. This year, Hunter Girl and Ned Ledoux perform live. Get tickets and apply for Utah's $5 tags at huntexpo.com. It's the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo, made possible by Utah Life Elevated. Get discount admission codes at these sponsor location, the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower, but you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
For adventure, for climbing, for splashing, for towing, for premium, for capable. The GMC AT4 lineup, premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Step up to GMC with 2.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on Sierra light duty models.
See your Utah GMC dealers.
Chopper 5. Utah's only news helicopter, giving you exclusive views of important events that no one else can. For a closer look at the news that affects you, trust the news specialists. KSL-5.
Closed captioning sponsored by Mike's Custom Jewelry.
We have the largest selection of jewelry in Utah at Mike.
The NBA All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City is just 24 days away, and we now know that the Utah Jazz will be represented in the Skills Challenge, part of the All-Star Saturday night. Mike Conley has been invited to participate in the event and plans to compete. The next up for the Jazz is a trip to Portland Wednesday for a showdown with Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers. Lillard's coming off a 37-point performance Monday against the Spurs. He was 7 of 11 from 3. The Jazz are coming off one of their best perimeter defensive performances of the season, holding the Hornets just 2 of 16 from beyond the arc.
Well, I think we did a good job of our switching to kind of take away a lot of those off-the-dribble threes, and then did a good job for the most part of containing the ball. Obviously, they're a better shooting team than 2 for 16, but when the margin is that big in attempts, I like our chances.
Damian Lillard with a long rainbow arc.
Getting prepared for a team that, you know, almost like ourselves, kind of been up and down. So just being able to go in and compete with them and, you know, hopefully get a win and just be great for us.
History was made today in Italy. American skier Michaela Schifrin won her 83rd race on the World Cup circuit. She now has the most wins by a female alpine skier in World Cup history. Schifrin broke a tie with former teammate Lindsey Vonn by winning the giant slalom in Italy. Schifrin already has 2 Olympic gold medals, 1 silver, and 6 world championships. One of the great Winter Olympic athletes of all time.
What's so impressive, though, she had to really make a comeback because she had a rough.
You remember what
year.
happened at the last Winter Olympics.
Yep.
I think she's got her eye on Italy in 2026, 3 years away. We'll see if she can make up for that and make people forget about it.
Today she owned Italy.
She did.
So,
Yeah.
all right, thanks.
Coming up at 6:30, a bill aimed at preventing domestic violence is making its way through the Senate. The requirement it would give police officers that could save lives.
Also, teaming up to give Utahns a second chance. How the Utah Jazz are helping Utahns clear their criminal records.
Time and temperature brought to you by anyhourservices.com.
Feeling sucker punched by high gas prices? Not with Riverton Chevy in your corner. Get a $500 gas card with any vehicle purchase.
The Chevyweight Champ, Riverton Chevy.
Do you know what's going on in Washington right now? They're talking about making cuts to your Social Security benefits. So the money you're counting on for retirement could end up being a lot less than you thought it was going to be. Hi, I'm Ryan Thacker.
And I'm Tyson Thacker from Boss Retirement Solutions. Out of control inflation is having a huge impact on the stability of the Social Security Trust Fund. And this could drastically change how and when you should file for your Social Security benefits.
Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. a 4-time winner of Utah's Best of State Award. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 801-701-8881.
This free customized analysis reveals the optimal strategy to get the most from your benefits. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You learn exactly how to get the most from your benefits, and it doesn't cost you a dime.
Filing for Social Security could be your biggest financial decision because tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars are at stake. Schedule your free analysis now by calling 801-701-8881.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. That big crispy boy can barely fit on the bun. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
What we do is disrupting traditional real estate, but disrupting it in a positive way. Our home sellers are walking away with thousands more than if they sold the traditional way. And the process was easier, more convenient, and less intrusive. That has resulted in thousands of additional dollars in our home sellers' pockets. The goal is to change the way America sells homes for the better. That's what 72 Sold is all about.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
Oh, we make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Feeling sucker punched by high interest rates? Not with Riverton Chevy in your corner. Get 2.99% on Silverados, Colorados, and the Equinox.
The Chevyweight Champ, Riverton Chevy.
You're watching KSL News at 6.
Welcome back. A bill that aims to curb domestic violence homicides in Utah is now heading to the Senate. Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson and her family were among those to speak in favor of Senate Bill 117.
That bill would require police departments to ask certain questions on domestic violence calls. News specialist Matt Rascone has more from the Capitol.
Now, the bill has widespread support, including from one family who hopes it will help prevent tragedies in other families.
Domestic violence situations are not easy.
They can be some of the most difficult situations to respond to.
We need every tool we can get.
And can lead to the most heartbreaking losses for family.
Beautiful girl, beautiful smile. She was only 35 years old when she was murdered.
It's been 5 months since Kent and Shauna Main lost their daughter Mandy to domestic violence.
No parent aspires to come to the legislature to talk about their legislation on behalf of their daughter. That usually means something bad has happened. However, it also means that hopefully something good will follow.
The Mains hope that good thing will be Senate Bill 117. It requires law enforcement officers to conduct a lethality assessment, an 11-question survey to assess a person's risk of being killed in a domestic violence situation.
Has he ever threatened to kill you? Has he ever choked you before? Is he unemployed? Does he own a gun?
Right now, bill sponsor Senator Todd Weiler says about half of Utah's police agencies use it.
Law enforcement throughout the state are hearing loud and clear that it's time to start using them, and there's no more excuses.
We have seen dramatic results in our small community using this program.
The bill would create a database to allow agencies to share information on perpetrators.
Could have saved Mandy's life, I believe, and I think it will save lives in the future.
Today, the bill cruised through a Senate committee hearing without any opposition.
All those in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye.
But with plenty of support from at least one family.
I think she'd be very happy to know that perhaps because this happened to her, she might be able to, it might result in helping others to be able to avoid the same fate.
The Main family said this bill is just the start. Senator Weiler says the only pushback that they've seen has come from defense attorneys concerned that the results of these assessments could be misused in court. Matt Rascone, KSL-5 News.
Matt, thank you. At KSL, we started digging into lethality assessments last year. I interviewed the Main family and Senator Weiler, then asking about potentially deadly gaps in the system. You can watch that full report now on KSL-TV.com. And of course, we'll be tracking this bill as it moves through the legislature.
New revelations tonight in the Enoch murders. The affidavit and results of a search warrant just unsealed today. The court documents revealing a neighbor first went into the home on January 4th and made the gruesome discovery. That neighbor alerted officers who then secured a search warrant. We know they found 5 children, 3 adults dead inside. We are also learning, in addition to the various electronic devices and jewelry, police also removed a handgun and ammunition from that home as part of their investigation.
Take a look at this. Chopper 5 captured what looks to be, anybody who looks at this is going to see it's an incredible winter. The storms just continue to deliver what we need most. The Division of Water Resources says our snowpack statewide is 183% of normal for this time of year. And that's the best winter we've seen in almost 20 years.
Wow. All right, Brett, we've been waiting for winters like this, and we're going to need some more if we're going to get out of this drought as well.
And we do have a little more in the forecast as well. And, you know, of course, another thing that we get with this is much better air quality. When you get the storms rolling through, that really helps clean the air. We don't have a lot of big storms headed our way right now, and we've had a little bit of a break. But even with that, we still see, you know, moderate air up in Cache Valley in some locations. You can see down a little bit further south. I don't think this is a real reading. So, yeah, just generally, we still have good air quality, you know, through Salt Lake, through Davis County, and down into Utah County as well. Generally good air quality, with some areas where we are seeing some moderate air quality as well. We do have a little bit of snow headed our way tonight. There's a look at it. We'll let you know when it moves in, how much it brings. Talk about some other storms as well coming up.
All right, thanks, Brett. Developing now, Salt Lake City police are investigating a shooting at a downtown hotel that left 2 people critically injured. Police say it started early this morning at a birthday celebration near 230 West 5th South. The victims are both young men in their early 20s. Detectives believe one victim and another man pulled out guns when the shots were fired. A 21-year-old woman also suffered minor injuries. Police say as of now, there's no general threat to the community. More than 24 people are behind bars, and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of illegal drugs are off Utah streets tonight thanks to a multi-agency drug trafficking sting. At the center of the operation, what's known as bath salts. Bath salts are a dangerous synthetic stimulant manufactured in East Asia. They're designed to mimic other drugs. During the sting, agents from several Utah agencies there seized millions of dollars in cash, real estate, vehicles, jewelry, and designer handbags, along with several firearms.
More than 1 in 4 Utahns has a criminal record and wants that social barrier to be removed. The Utah Jazz, the NBA, and Raza Legal teaming up today to give a big boost to Utahns who need that second chance. They put on a 3-hour clean slate summit to help people expunge their criminal records. This specialist Jed Bull has a story now from Vivint Arena.
The NBA is highlighting Utah's clean slate law because the All-Star game will be played here at Vivint Arena next month. They have a new arm focused on social justice initiatives like Utah's clean slate law, which is only the second of its kind in the country.
You walk around knowing that you have this thing that makes you different from everybody else, and you feel so isolated, so it affects you socially.
As a teen, Brock Smith had an addiction disorder that led to bad decisions and a trip through the criminal justice system. As he turned his life around, that record became a barrier for housing, employment, and higher education.
When I was able to get my record expunged, I was able to have the freedom that society really brings without this scarlet letter of a criminal record.
At the expungement clinic, more than 350 people with records got free legal advice from attorneys. Many Utah misdemeanor and felony records are eligible for expungement, with the exception of violent crimes and sex crimes.
Having a criminal record is a lot more common than people think. If you or a loved one has a criminal record, you're not alone. Over 1 in 4 Utahns has some type of criminal record.
Most landlords and employers do background checks.
And if you have a criminal record, you have to check that box.
After expungement,
when someone gets their record cleared, it just opens up all kinds of opportunities for housing, jobs, education, volunteering in your kids' school. It eliminates all of those barriers of a criminal record.
The Clean Slate law passed unanimously 4 years ago and was implemented last year. The NBA is using it to highlight what Utah is doing to promote race equity and create second chances. Already, 200,000 records have been processed and cleared by the Utah courts.
That's a huge impact on people who made a mistake,
paid their debt to society, but now are coming home.
Why does that matter to the NBA?
Because justice matters, and there are so many issues that we can make a difference on by bringing people together. As a coalition, we start with voting rights, policing, and criminal justice reform.
For Brock Smith, it's a new life without the old barrier.
And that chip is off my shoulder now, so I mean, just mentally, emotionally, and socially, I've benefited greatly.
If you missed today's event, Raza Legal has an online tool that you can use to determine whether you are eligible for expungement. You'll find a link to that tool at our website, KSL-TV.com. For KSL-5 News, I'm Jed Bowl.
Jed, thank you. Coming up in your KSL Quick Take, a document discovery, another one. What we know so far about the big find at the home of our former VP.
And it's happened to just about all of us. Search for something on Google and an advertisement for that very item pops up. Well, now the Department of Justice is taking action against that.
Tomorrow morning, every half hour, starting at 5:45, Casey Scott has those $50 gas cards to help you fill up at the pump and beat those gas station blues. That's tomorrow morning on KSL Today.
Guys, are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we now have a major medical breakthrough. Our WAVE technology is clinically shown to open up and repair blood vessels, treating the root cause problem of ED. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us now and you'll get the ultrasound and assessment totally free. Also, a gift that can produce rapid results. You're going to love that one. And today, Tuesday only, tune-up treatments are included. This means that if you notice results fading in the future, we'll retreat you free of charge, and that's good for calls today, Tuesday only. Guys, it's time to get your love life back.
Put a stop to your ED. Call today, Tuesday, January 24th, and you'll qualify for the exam, assessment, ultrasound, and special gift free. Plus 5 tune-up treatments at no charge. This $800 value is free to those who call today only, January 24th. Call Wasatch Medical Clinic at 801-901-8000. This offer ends today.
Got a good feeling about this, yeah, I'm with it. I got a good feeling about this, yeah, so let's get it. I'm feeling good vibes.
With Gold Bond, you can age on your own terms.
New Retinol Overnight means the smoothing benefits of retinol are now for your whole body. Plus, fast-working crepe corrector diminishes wrinkled skin in just 2 days. Gold Bond, championing your skin.
Two things our plumbers hear a lot: too much hard water and not enough hot water. If you've ever had thoughts like this, it's your lucky day. You see, our plumbers are slow this time of year, and if you help us keep them busy, we'll make it worth your while. Through the end of February, we'll include a free water softener when you have us install a new tankless water heater. You heard that right, a free softener when you buy a tankless water heater. One of our plumbers would be happy to show you your options. The visit's free and there's no obligation to buy. You just need to call before the end of February to get this deal. Call Any Hour Services or visit us online.
Whoa, new ride? Yep, we're cruising into the new year in style with Verizon Home Internet. Got it for just $25 a month. No hidden fees, no surprise price hikes, no annual contracts.
So it's fast and reliable?
Yeah, and with a family full of devices, this baby keeps our home fully connected.
It's pretty awesome.
That's it. I'm ditching cable. Let's take it for a spin.
Whoa, Gary. Can you handle this much power?
Totally.
There's never been a better time to ditch cable and switch to Verizon Home Internet. Plans start at just $25 a month with select 5G unlimited plans.
You Care Yellow Air Day. Take action. Lower your thermostat for better air.
Here's a look at today's headlines in your KSL Quick Take. In California, investigators searching for answers in the wake of the 3 mass shootings in 3 days. Police revealing today the suspect who opened fire at 2 mushroom farms in Half Moon Bay was an employee.
A new discovery of classified documents tonight, this time at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence. CNN is reporting Pence asked outside counsel to look for records bearing classified markings. His attorney says they were inadvertently boxed and transported to his home at the end of the Trump administration.
The Biden administration is finalizing plans to send American M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. That is according to U.S. officials familiar with this matter. This could be part of an attempt to break a diplomatic logjam with Germany.
The Justice Department is suing Google for monopolizing the online advertising space. The complaint alleges Google has used anti-competitive mergers to acquire rivals and bullied advertisers into using its products.
Coming up next, are you seeing an increase in your energy bill? The local company providing some answers today.
And the 2023 legislative session is currently underway on Capitol Hill. Today, some elementary students took a field trip there for a different reason: the celebration of all things science, technology, engineering, and math. STEAM, when we come back.
With the Smith's Rewards Card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. Earn fuel points on every purchase and save up to $1 a gallon at the pump. With Smith's Fuel Points, all you do is win big, big savings. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
The story of a country line dancer who gave her pain the boot. This is Shelley.
Once I start dancing, I forget where I am.
So what was tripping her up?
Foot pain, knee pain, and back pain.
Then she got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It was magical. I knew, oh my gosh, this is what I need to stay on the dance floor.
And stay there, Shelley does.
That's my happy place. I'm not going to stop.
Step in for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Is your thermostat lying to you? Same Day can fix that. Our heating and cooling experts have been keeping thermostats honest for over 64 years. So next time you have a problem in your home, call Same Day Heating and Air, Plumbing and Electric. The people who can in the big green van.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Utahns agree on what's most important to capture in the new state flag.
We want symbols that speak to our history and our values.
Mountains represent our vital source of water, timber, and granite, essential to Native peoples, pioneers, and residents today.
A star celebrates our status as the 45th state. The star represents our 8 tribal nations.
Red, white, and blue evoke our love of country and freedom. Visit flag.utah.gov to learn more.
Utah is growing, and we're growing too. What started on the U of U campus has grown to over 110,000 members with 20 locations, and we're ready to meet even more of you. More than a campus or a branch, we are Utah's teachers, businesses, and families. For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. University Credit Union is now You First Credit Union. See why it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First.
With the Smith's app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you get in our stores. So start your cart today. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Tomorrow on Today, Law & Order's Christopher Maloney, live on the season everyone's talking about. She called me. And where it goes next.
You're teasing us.
Tomorrow only on Today.
COVID-19 response is still in full swing here in Utah as FEMA has approved another $20.6 million in pandemic efforts. The emergency agency says the money will serve multiple purposes, including personal protective equipment for staff and patients at Intermountain Health. It will also be used for more vaccinations across the state and administrative costs for COVID-19 response. Many Americans may be due for an annual COVID-19 vaccine shot under a plan to simplify FDA immunizations. Part of the plan suggests Americans should transition to a single vaccine for both the initial and booster doses, especially as those doses are continuously updated to target the latest strains of the virus. An advisory panel will meet to discuss streamlining the schedule this Thursday.
More affordable prescriptions are coming to Amazon Prime. Members will soon be able to add RX Pass. It's a program that'll give users access to 50 generic medications. The service costs $5 a month per person, and delivery is absolutely free. Amazon has pushed deeper into healthcare in recent years, the company launching its own online pharmacy back in 2020, a service born out of its acquisition of PillPack in 2018. If you are one of the many people seeing higher bills from Dominion Energy lately, the company today providing some answers for you. Dominion telling KSL the gas prices on your bill reflect what the company pays for gas. They say this uptick follows a national trend related to the war in Ukraine, demand across the country, Utah's drought, and supply chain issues. It's a long list, isn't it? They say to help combat the inflation crisis, they will continue to be flexible with payment programs and financial assistance to those who qualify.
Walmart is building its minimum wage up in hopes of keeping up with wage wars. Store employees will earn at least $14 an hour beginning in early March. That brings the average wage at Walmart to $17.50 an hour. It's trying to keep up with Target and Amazon that pay at least $15 an hour. Costco employees make a minimum $17 an hour. Happening tomorrow, Jordan School District is looking to fill a record number of vacancies in its education school programs by hosting a job fair. They're looking for a number of positions like substitute teachers, classroom assistants, and custodial workers. The fair will be tomorrow evening at Oker Hills Middle School.
New at 6:30 today, our state capitol celebrating all things science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM operations from all over Utah coming together on Capitol Hill today, showing elementary students everything that comes from the career. This includes hands-on demonstrations from places like museums, the Hogle Zoo, and even Hill Air Force Base. Utah STEM Action Center says the STEM workforce in Utah has grown over 20% since 2016 and is expected to keep on rising.
Brett's going to show off some STEM skills by showing us when we're going to get snow.
That's my background. Yeah, so we do have a little bit of snow headed our way. Actually, tonight it moves in late, it moves out early. Most of us will sleep right through it. But many of us will wake up with a little bit of snow on our drive. It doesn't look like a big storm, but another little one that's rolling through. As you look at our current conditions, we're sitting at 30. Those winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. That's by and large what our pattern's been for the last several days. As we've quieted down a bit as far as the big snowstorms that have been headed our way, but we've kept the temperatures low, and that helps us keep, of course, the snow in the mountains. And then occasionally we just get little systems that roll through. So the high pressure is the dominant region in the west, but it is, displaced well to our west right now. So we're on the leading edge of that high pressure. You can see the winds coming out of the northwest. And a couple things happen. Number one, it keeps us cooler because it's pulling in air from our north. Number two, because the high is so displaced to the west, storms are able to get around and come down and actually clip the state. And that's what's going to happen here for the next several days. So the first one kind of moves through tonight into very early tomorrow morning, but there's a couple behind that will be moving in towards the end of the week and the weekend. Here's a look outside right now as far as radar. Nothing really happening, but you look to the north, there's a look at some of that snow moving through Idaho, and that will work its way south, as I mentioned here, over the next several hours. Kicking off snowfall in the extreme northern part of the state here in the next couple hours, but for most of the Wasatch Front, it'll be closer to sometime around midnight to very early tomorrow morning. 3 right now in Vernal, 25 in Price. Same story in Moab, mid-40s around St. George, and we're sitting at 30 currently in Salt Lake. You can see some of the cloud cover that's in northern Utah. That's the other thing that is going to be with us for a majority of the 7-day forecast. A lot of cloud cover for the northern and central part of the state. So here's a look at that snow that rolls through tonight. So again, that pushes through, and you see by 5 a.m. tomorrow, most of it has already pushed its way through the Wasatch Front. Now, over the higher elevations, a couple bench locations up over the Uintas could still be holding on to some snow as we begin the early parts of the morning drive. But for the most part, it will have moved already into central Utah and then will die out. But then notice we kick off a few more isolated storms as we get towards Wednesday evening. We get into Thursday. Another system starts dropping out of the north and mainly impacts the mountains in extreme northern Utah. Another one on Friday. So this is the pattern. No real big storms headed our way, but we just keep this really unsettled pattern with us through the rest of the week and into the weekend. 30s and 20s for central Utah with cloud cover. You can see in the southern part of the state more sunshine as the clouds just don't reach this far, but still cool temperatures. 20s, 30s, and 40s for afternoon highs in southern Utah. Only mid-40s in St. George, topping out at 50 on Sunday with cooler temperatures after that. As you look at northern Utah, again, a lot of cloud cover. The showers hours and the overnight hours, and then the cloud cover for the majority of the day, and cool temperatures once again with the breeze out of the north. You look here along the Wasatch Front, low 30s for afternoon highs with those clouds. 7 day shapes up like this. So the overnight storm or the overnight snow tonight, we have another one that rolls in. It looks like Friday into Saturday, and then another one Sunday into Monday. Of all of them, Mondays looks like the biggest right now. Not a real big storm, but the biggest one of all of them.
Those cold temps have made their way into the newsroom here.
Yeah.
A little chilly.
A little chilly
freezing.
today.
I actually like it.
Yeah, I know you do. Thanks, Brett.
We'll be right back.
Are you in a tight spot?
It's my retirement. I feel like they should pay me.
And it's the final straw.
We were frauded for $2,300.
You need to call Gephardt.
She decided to call me.
Matt Gephardt is there to help.
If an airline cancels your flight, then they must compensate you. We came out clipboard in hand during rush hour. We asked them some general questions.
From cutting costs in grocery lines.
There's all kinds of stuff for sale.
To making sure you get a fair deal.
I'm calling to find out if you're a fraud.
Get Gephardt, weeknights at 10 on KSL.
KSL Weather, sponsored by Clark Planetarium, now featuring Worlds of Ice.
Feeling sucker punched by high gas prices? Not with Riverton Chevy in your corner. Get a $500 gas card with any vehicle purchase.
The Chevyweight Champ, Riverton Chevy.
Ballet West presents The Sleeping Beauty with new sets. This timeless story features the music of Tchaikovsky, played live by the Ballet West Orchestra. Buy tickets now at balletwest.org.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Arby's roast beef got a spicy new upgrade. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
You know that feeling? You're worried about that outdoor hose connection, which is super convenient in the summer, but every winter when it gets cold, you wonder if it's going to freeze or not, and if it did freeze, just where exactly the pipes would burst, and if they did burst, just how much of your stuff would be ruined? Whipple that away. Sorting out weird plumbing so things don't freeze in the winter is my job. Make your problem my problem. Whipple Service Champions.
I wanted to go to college. Then I learned financial aid was still available, helping find a career that works best for me.
I realized having a college degree would help me to earn more, from job to career.
College is me.
Welcome to Lighting Design. For the past 25 years, Lighting Design has been the award-winning go-to location for contractors and homeowners looking for the best lighting at the most competitive prices. Come browse one of the state's largest lighting showrooms and sit down with a lighting specialist, or schedule a free virtual consultation from the comfort of your own home. Whether you're building your dream home or remodeling your existing home, Lighting Design can help. For more information, please visit us at lightingdesign.com.
Feeling sucker punched by high interest rates? Not with Riverton Chevy in your corner. Get 2.99% on Silverados, Colorados, and the Equinox.
The Chevyweight Champ, Riverton Chevy.
Order. This is a real court, no matter what Yelp says.
The verdict is in. Night Court is fresh and funny. You'll laugh out loud.
Speaking of which, if you're satisfied with the defense, I could use a 5-star review.
Night Court, tonight on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Cyrus!
You know my office has a phone.
It's not a motel.
Oh, why are you naked today? I thought we all were.
American Auto, tonight on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Closed captioning sponsored by Mike's Custom Jewelry.
We design custom jewelry for you at Mike's.
My advice to anyone, if God blesses you and gives you the number of years that He's given me, burn out your life living for others.
Oh boy, and he is burning. We're going to leave you with some words of wisdom tonight from a North Carolina man. He just celebrated his 98th birthday in a big, big way.
He loved skydiving so much, he said he's going to do it again for his 100th birthday.
Why not?
Way to go.
I'm anxious for his 110th.
You can hunt Utah's biggest bucks and bulls for just $5 and visit with hundreds of guides and outfitters. It's all here at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo. Get tickets and apply for Utah's $5 tags at huntexpo.com.
Subway keeps upping their game with the Subway Series, an all-star menu of delicious subs. There's the Philly, the Monster, the Boss.
If I hadn't seen it in person, I wouldn't have believed it.
Eating is believing, Steph. The Subway series. Try Subway's tastiest menu upgrade yet.
Guys, are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we now have a major medical breakthrough. Our WAVE technology is clinically shown to open up and repair blood vessels, treating the root cause problem of ED. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us now and you'll get the ultrasound and assessment totally free. Also, a gift that can produce rapid results. You're going to love that one. And today, Tuesday only, tune-up treatments are included. This means that if you notice results fading in the future, we'll retreat you free of charge, and that's good for calls today, Tuesday only. Guys, it's time to get your love life back.
Put a stop to your ED. Call today, Tuesday, January 24th, and you'll qualify for the exam, assessment, ultrasound, and special gift free. Plus 5 tune-up treatments at no charge. This $800 value is free to those who call today only, January 24th. Call Wasatch Medical Clinic at 801-901-8000. This offer ends today.
My education is everyone's future. When I grow up, I'll be your doctor or your legislator. Maybe I'll be your grandkids' teacher. Maybe I'll even be your neighbor. So let's make sure I get the best education possible. It's my education, and it's our future.
From now through the end of February, when you buy a new tankless water heater, Any Hour Services will give you a new water softener for free. That's right, a free softener when you buy a new tankless water heater. To schedule a free estimate, call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com.
Jumper 5, bringing your world home like no one else can.
Here is what's coming up tonight on KSL-5, followed by the KSL News at 10. TV Wise is brought to you by Papa Murphy's. Time and temperature brought to you by anyhourservices.com.
For adventure, for climbing, for splashing, for towing, for premium, for capable. The GMC AT4 lineup, premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Step up to GMC with 2.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on Sierra light duty models. We are professional grade GMC.
Do you know Joyce? Joyce is a nursing student reaching his goals. Joyce is a nurse advancing her career. Joyce is a professor inspiring futures. Since 1979, Joyce is a community dedicated to preparing healthcare professionals to change and save lives. Joyce University, the first name in nursing education. Join us at joyce.edu.
Get Gephardt tonight on KSL-5 News at 10.